One of the many defendants facing federal charges in the insurrectionist attack on the Capitol of January 6th made an unbelievable claim in court today, stating that he suffered from Foxitis and Foxmania. This is a report coming from Huffington Post senior reporter Ryan J. Riley. He tweeted the following after coming out of federal court. He said, quote, attorney for Capitol defendant Anthony Antonio said his client had Foxitis and Foxmania from watching 6 months of Fox News and started, quote, believing what was being fed to him by Fox News and the president. Now, there is a case to be made about the role that Fox News and Donald Trump played in the insurrectionist attack of January 6th, but it is absolutely the height of absurdity for especially someone that has an ideology that constantly badgers the rest of America about personal responsibility, all of a sudden saying that he was no longer responsible for his actions because he watched too much Fox News. And again, I can't tell this story or cover this story without absolutely understanding the role that Fox News played in this and the role that Donald J. Trump played in this. In fact, that's exactly the reason why Donald Trump was impeached for the second time, because he very directly incited the insurrection on January 6th. Let's take a listen in.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women, and we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them, because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength. So this was directly before the insurrection. So absolutely, the idea that listening to your sitting president tell you that you have to take this country back by force by going down to the Capitol, there is absolutely a connection between Donald Trump and the insurrection. However, I'm sorry, Anthony Antonio, you are personally responsible for your own actions. You watched 6 months of Fox News, which is obviously detrimental to your health. And in fact, I want to play one more clip. This is a mashup by The Daily Show, because they did the best job of summarizing exactly the role that Fox News played in the lead up and the aftermath of the January 6th insurrection.
General George Washington's soldiers were freezing cold, fighting for independence against tyranny, domination, and control. It was their moment to stand up and fight for freedom. To many, January 6th is such a moment.
The battle for the White House is now a full-fledged struggle for the survival of this constitutional republic.
We, the people, are in control of the United States, and we will take our rights back.
74 million Americans are not going to shut up.
This is about taking a stand where you can take a stand.
So absolutely, Fox News, the Republican Party in general, Donald Trump specifically, and the rabid conservatives that are always on Fox News absolutely would be able to convince someone that there is a full-fledged movement to take this country back. And I can see there's a direct connection. So, I mean, as ridiculous as it is, Foxitis, unfortunately, for people who don't have the ability to decipher between entertainment and the news, Foxitis could very well be a thing, but it's not a thing that's going to help this guy get off. I'm sorry, Anthony Antonio. You are responsible for your actions. You're the one who watched Fox News every single day for 6 months. You're the person who took it upon yourself to get a ticket and go to Washington, D.C., and you're the person who decided to participate in it. And you are the person who's facing federal charges. So while Foxitis is laughable and probably a real thing, especially for people who can't delineate between truth and lies, facts and fiction, and propaganda, while that may very well be a thing, it's going to be insufficient to get these defendants off from their charges. That said, there has to be a day of reckoning for Fox News. There was a recent court case where Tucker Carlson's show was on trial, and the way they got off was because the defense made the argument that any reasonable person should be able to look at what's going across the air during Tucker Carlson's show and realize that it's entertainment and not the news. The sad reality is that for people who want to believe what he says, they don't view it as entertainment. They view it as a sermon from their pastor. They believe it as a statement of truth from their mentor, Tucker Carlson and Fox News absolutely know that what they're doing and what they're saying across the airwaves has a direct impact on everyone, but they get away with being able to pretend as if they're merely entertainment. But for so many people in this country who don't have the cognitive capacity to decipher between propaganda and the truth, entertainment and the news, for them, well, they took it to heart. And Anthony Antonio is facing federal charges, and it will be interesting to see if this man that you see on your screen is able to get away with the Foxitis claim and the Foxmania defense. Because, honestly, Fox News does have a role to play in this. But personal responsibility is a cornerstone of the conservative movement. So unfortunately for you, Anthony, you're on your own.